Next topic in first year revision program is the population ecology. What is the population? What is the population ecology means? At first, before going to the population ecology, if we can observe the population definition, the group of the individuals which are belongs to same species, which may be freely undergoes the breeding to produce the fertile offspring, that group is said to be as the population. Group of the individuals which may be belongs to same species which may be undergoes the free breeding to produce the fertile offspring, that group is said to be as the population. Means we cannot consider only the group of the individuals which are produced by the sexual reproduction as the population. We can we can also consider the group of the individuals which may be produced by the sexual reproduction also. Means the group of the individuals which are produced either by the sexual reproduction or by the asexual reproduction, such group of the individuals are grouped as they are called as the population. Definitely this population ecology is also called as the ecology, or this is also called as the species ecology. Means in a population, among the same species of individuals continuously interactions are appears. In a population, among the same species of individuals there are continuous interaction, and also they may be interacting with the surrounding environment continuously. So that only that is said to be as the ecology or the species ecology. Again, this population ecology must be continuously interacted with the population genetics as well as population evolution also. Means that definitely this population ecology must be interrelated with the genetics as well as the organic evolution branch. How that kind of the population ecology may be interlinked with the genetics means definitely species is the dynamic. Means each and every species must be undergoes the changes with respect to the environmental changes, that each and every change to inherit into the next generation, that change must be at the genetic level. So if in the structure of the gene, if the change is occurs to inherit it into the next generation, then that is the genetical related, that is related to the genetics branch. Again, whenever the changes occurs at the gene level, that must be leads to the origin of the new species after some time. That origin of the new species is related to the organic evolution. Means definitely population ecology must be interrelated with the genetics as well as the organic evolution. Again, what are the population attributes? What are the population attributes which are very commonly appear means population attributes are principally 6 types. One is natality and mortality. Second one is the immigration. Third one is the sex ratio. Fourth one is the age pyramids. Fifth one is the population size or population density. Then what is the natality? Population attribute means the characteristic features which may be appears in the population but not in the single individual. Characteristic features which may be appears in population but not in the single individual, then we can say that is the population attribute. After first one is the natality. Natality is nothing but birth rate. So what is the natality? What is the birth rate rate means among the 1,000 individuals in 1 year period, how many number of the new births are taken place? That is said to be as the natality. Natality can be represented by B, that equal to number of births by total population. To betterly calculate the kind of the birth rate or the natality, we must be take the ratio between the number of the births by total population. Then what is the mortality means? Number of the deaths, total number of the death among 1,000 people in 1 year period is said to be as the mortality or the death rate. That is represented by the small d, that equal to number of deaths by total population. Means to betterly calculate the death rate, we must be taking the ratio between the number of the deaths by total population here. If in the case, in the given population, if the birth rate is becomes exceeds than the death rate, then population size will be increases. Otherwise, if the death rate is becomes greater than the birth rate, population size will be decreases. Second one is the immigrations and emigration. Immigration nothing but inward movement of the population. Inward movement of the individuals into the population is said to be as the immigration. Emigration means outward movement of the individuals from the population to elsewhere is said to be as the immigration. By the immigration, population size will be increases. By the emigration, population size will be decreases. Among these four factors, if the B plus I is becomes greater than B plus E, then population size will be increases. Means the total number of the births and immigrations, if the B becomes greater than total number of the deaths and immigration, definitely population size will be increases. Otherwise, if the B plus I is becomes less than B plus A, then population size will be decreases. Next to sex ratio, definitely if in the given population both male and female are equal in number, then automatically reproduction rate is gets increases. By that the population size will be increases. Otherwise, if there is an imbalance between the male and female, if there is the imbalance between the male and female number, definitely reproduction rate is gets decreases. By that way, population size will be decreases. Next, age pyramid. Age pyramid nothing but in each and every population, three type of the age group persons must be obvious. Who are the three type of the age group persons means? One is the free reproductive age group persons. Second, reproductive age group persons. Third one is the post-reproductive age group person. In each and every population, definitely three type of the age group persons are appears with a different number in different populations. By basing these three age group persons, if we can plot a pyramid, that kind of this pyramid is said to be as the age pyramid. By considering these three age group persons in different populations, if we can plot the pyramid, then that kind of the pyramid is said to be as the age pyramid. For example, if in a given population, if the free reproductive persons are more than the reproductive persons are more than the post-reproductive person, then definitely that is the triangular in shape. This triangular pyramid must be represent growing population status. If in the case free reproductive persons are more than the reproductive persons are more than the post-reproductive person, definitely that population status is the growing population. Otherwise, if in the population three age group persons are equal in number, If in the given population three age group persons also equal in number, definitely that is look like as the bell shape. Always bell-shaped shaped pyramid always represent stable population status. If in the given population, three age group persons also equal in number, means post-reproductive, reproductive, reproductive age group persons are equal in number. Then, by considering that, if we can plot a pyramid that is bell-shaped, that bell-shaped pyramid must be represent the stable status here. Otherwise, if in the case of the given population, post-reproductive age group persons are more than the reproductive age group person, reproductive age group persons are more than the reproductive age group person. By considering that, if we can plot a pyramid, that is look like as the ornament shape. That is the ornament-shaped pyramid. Ornament-shaped pyramid represents declining population status. Means as the old persons are more in number than the free reproductive age group person, definitely population size will be gradually decreases. That represent the declining population. Means if in the given population, if free reproductive persons are more than the post reproductive person, if we can plot a pyramid that is the triangular in shape that represents the growing population, if the three age group persons are same, if we can represent a pyramid that is in bell shape that represents the stable population, definitely if the post reproductive age group persons are more than the free reproductive age group person, by considering that if we can represent a pyramid that is the ornament shape that represents the declining population status. Finally, population size or the population density. Definitely, what is the population density means? Total number of individual. What is the population density or population size means? Total number of the individuals which may be in given area at given period, the total number is said to be as the population density or the population size. Means definitely for a terrestrial individual we must be represent the area, given area. For the aquatic individual we must be represent the given volume of water. Means the total number of the individuals in the given area or in given volume of water body at given period is said to be as the population density. Definitely, for getting the calculation of the population density, we must be follow various kind of the methods. Of them, first method is the total counting method. Means for terrestrial individual, for getting the calculation of the terrestrial animals, definitely total counting method is the best accurate method. Means for calculation of the population density for terrestrial animals, the accurate method is the total counting method is the absolute accurate method. Again, second one is the considering of biomass or covering area method. Definitely, for calculation of population size and the population density for the plant, we should not consider the total counting method. We must be consider the biomass, amount of the biomass which is given available or the total covering area of that kind of the plant must be considered to better calculate the population density of the terrestrial plants. Specifically for getting the calculation of the population density of the plant, we must be considered amount of the biomass which is available or its covering area, but not the total counting method here. Means this is better useful for the calculation of the population density of plants. Third one is the average method. Average counting method. is the third. Particularly for aquatic individual, it's not possible to totally count them accurately. So that only to betterly calculate the population density of the aquatic individual, average method must be equally useful to analysis of that kind of this specific individual ecologically. Means definitely average counting method is used for calculation of the population density of the aquatic individuals. For getting the calculation of the aquatic animals population density, average counting method is better useful here. Next, definitely for calculation of the forest individuals such as the tigers, counting of fecal pellets, and fur marks. Principle for getting the calculation of the population density of tigers, this counting of the fecal pellet and fur marks is very useful to us here. Then what is the least population density which is appears means less than 10 population densities appears in Siberian plains of wetlands of Rajasthan. Least population densities appears in Siberian plains in wetland of Rajasthan during the winter season. Nothing but that is the least population density, that is the less than 10. Again, highest population density can be observed in the case of the Chlamydomonas. In the case of the Chlamydomonas, highest population density can be observed. Means in a given water body, their number may be millions, their number may be billion. That is the highest population size. Next to population growth curves. Population growth curves. Population growth curves. To betterly explain the population status, means whether the population size may be increases or decreases. To betterly explain that, definitely this population growth curves are a lot useful to us here. Means population growth curves always explain what is the population status of an individual at a given periods, at given seasons. To better explain that, definitely population growth curves are a lot useful to us here. Again, population growth curves are of two types. One is the exponential population growth curve. Exponential growth curve is also called as density independent growth curve, or this is also called as the J-shaped growth curve. Second one is the logistic growth curve or S-shaped growth curve or density dependent growth curve. This is the density dependent growth curve. Exponential growth curve or geometrical growth curve or density independent or the J-shaped growth curve. Means whenever the environmental resources are unlimited, under such condition, certain species of individuals may be increases rapidly by utilizing that unlimited environmental resources. So in such case, if we can consider them, if we can plot a curve, then that is said to be as the exponential growth curve or the density independent growth curve or the J-shaped growth curve. For example, just assume if into a given habitat where unlimited environmental resources are If into that, if we can introduce 50 aphids during the winter season, if we can introduce the 50 aphids into the rose bush, where unlimited food material is available to them, by utilizing the kind of the food material, this aphids population size increases into billions within a short period. Means definitely by utilizing that kind of the unlimited environmental resource, this aphids population size will be increases within a short period into million. But unfortunately, if all of a sudden temperature is gets raises, at what rate population size is increases, at the same rate population size will be starts to decay. Means up to the crash period, this is said to be as the crash. Up to the crash, population size will be rapidly increases by utilizing unlimited food material. But unfortunately, if the temperature starts to rise in the environment, definitely after the crash, this population size will be decreases rapidly. Means before the crash, B is greater than D. After the crash, B is becomes less than D. Definitely, after the crash, B is less than B is becomes less than D. But before the crash, birth rate is becomes greater than death rate. Means in this case, overall, this kind of the curve is look like as J shape. So that only this is said to be as the J shape curve here. Again, why we say it is the density independent means, in this case, increase the number of the population will not be tends to decrease. Increase the number of the population will not be tends to decrease by accepting competition among the increased individual. This population size starts to decrease due to the change of the environment, but not by accepting of competition among the increased number of the individual. So that only is said to be as the density independent. Again, what is the formula, mathematical formula, which is a lot helpful to us to explain the exponential growth curve means dn by dt equal to n into b minus d. Again, dn by dt equal to n into r. b minus d equal to r means birth rate minus death rate, that is equal to population growth rate, that is represented by the r. So that only mathematical formula to better explain this J-shaped growth curve is dn by dt equal to nr. Then what is the integral formula which is a lot useful to us to better explain the J-shaped growth curve means, that is nt equal to n0 e to the power of rt, where nt equal to population size after t time. After some time, what would be the population size is nothing but nt. N0 nothing but initial population. E is nothing but logarithmic value. That equal to 2.718 is the log value. R equal to population growth rate. Again, T equal to time period. Means integral formula which is helpful to us to better explain the J-shaped growth curve is nt equal to n0 into the power of rt, where e value is 2.718. This is the exponential growth curve. Second one is the logistic growth curve. Second type of the growth curve is the logistic growth curve or Hurlust-Paul logistic growth curve. Hurlust-Paul logistic growth curve or S-shaped growth curve or density dependent growth curve. Density dependent growth curve. Second type of the growth curve is the logistic growth curve or the Hurlust-Paul logistic growth curve or the S-shaped growth curve or the curve. Means if in the environmental resources are very limited, by considering that kind of the environment, if we can plot a curve, then that is look like as the S shape. That is said to be as the logistic growth curve or the Hurlust Paul logistic growth curve or the density dependent growth curve. For example, into a limited environment, if we can introduce 50 paramecium, definitely by utilizing that kind of the limited environmental resource, that individual's population size may be increases up to a certain extent. After that population will be maintained as the constant. Means definitely in logistic growth curve, population size will be maintained as constant. Population size will be kept as the constant by a specific factor that is said to be as the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity of given habitat must be take part in keeping that kind of the population size as the constant. Then what is the carrying capacity means? The maximum capacity of a given habitat which may be supposed to increase the population size up to a maximum, that is said to be as the carrying capacity. For example, if in given water body 50,000 paramecias only able to exist until 50,000 paramecia, this habitat supposed to them behind the 50,000, there must be exactly competition among the individual. By that way, paramecian population size maintained as the constant at the 50,000 level. Means the capacity of a habitat which can suppose to them to exist is said to be as the carrying capacity. Again, into a given water body, if we can introduce the 50 paramecia, this 50 paramecians at first adjusted to that kind of the water body, that is said to be as the log phase. This is the adjustment phase. After that, definitely this individuals may be starts reproduction rapidly. By that way, population size may be increases. That phase is said to be as the positive acceleration phase. After that, means whenever the kind of the individual's population size reaches to carrying capacity, until the carrying capacity, this population size will be increases rapidly. That is nothing but positive acceleration phase. Near the positive acceleration phase, D is greater than D, means birth rate is always maintained as the greater than death rate. So not only population size will be increases up to the carrying capacity normally. Up to carrying capacity, these individuals cannot be exact competition among themselves. They may be very freely utilizes the resource. By the way, they may be focused on the reproduction. By the way, their population size will be increases up to the carrying capacity. Behind the carrying capacity, definitely competition will be started to exert among them. By the way, certain individuals may be gets leads to death. By the way, population size again starts to decrease towards the carrying capacity. Where the population size will be started to decrease, that is said to be as the negative acceleration phase. That is said to be as the negative acceleration phase. At negative acceleration phase, V becomes less than T. Means here, birth rate becomes less than death rate. Death rate becomes exceeds than the birth rate. By that way, population size will be starts to decrease. By that way, that reaches to the carrying capacity. At carrying capacity, almost the population size is maintained constant for a longer period. That is said to be as the asymptote phase, where B equal to D. Means near the carrying capacity, population size will be maintained constant for a longer period without getting any change. That is said to be as the asymptote phase here. Overall, why we say it is the S-shaped growth curve means this curve is in S shape, so that only that is the S-shaped growth curve or the sigmoid growth curve. Then why we say it is the density dependent growth curve means behind this carrying capacity, increased population size will be starts to decrease in order to accept competition among the individuals only. Means here behind the carrying capacity the population size tends to decrease because of due to the increased competition among the increased individuals only. So that only this is said to be as the density dependent growth curve here. This logistic growth curve also can be explained by a mathematical formula, that is nothing but dn by dt equal to nr into k minus n by k. Definitely this logistic growth curve also can be explained by using a mathematical equation, that is the dn by dt equal to nr into k minus n by k, where n equal to population size, r equal to population growth rate, k is equal to carrying capacity. So this is a logistic growth curve. Next to life history variation. Definitely in animal kingdom all type of the individuals may not be with the same life history. Certain type of the individuals may be reproduced only once in their lifetime. Certain type of the individuals may be reproduced many times. Means life history variations must be appears in the case of the individuals in the living world. So life history variation means either in production of the number of the daughters, either in gestation period or in production of the size of the daughters, there must be variation from species to species. That is nothing but life history variation. So definitely life history variations can be explained by three heads here. Certain type of the individuals breeds only once breeding, once breeded animals. For example, when we observe the salmon fishes breeds only once in their entire lifetime, so that only they may be lays huge number of the eggs, that is the 28 millions of the eggs are laid by the salmon fish at a time, because they only once breed, so that only to exist they further their number in further generations also, for perpetuate of their number in the further generations also. Definitely they may be lays huge number of the egg, that is the 28 millions of the egg at a time. Similarly, when we observe the plant, bamboo trees also breeds only once in their entire lifetime. But when we observe the pelagic fishes, and all oysters, they may be breeds many times. Many times they may be breed. They produce more number of daughters with a small sized body. With a small sized body means the pelagic fishes as well as the small oysters breeds many times in their life history, and they maybe produces more and more number of the daughters with a small sized body. But when we observe the birds and the mammals also breeds many times in their life history, they breeds many times in the life history, but produces few daughters with a big sized body. big sized body. Definitely, whatever the boards and the mobiles which may be, they also breeds many times in their life history, but they may be produces very few number of the daughters with a big sized body. Similarly, in various individuals' life history must be variated. Beings, salmon fishes and diabetes only breeds only once in their entire life history. Again, pelagic fishes and polyhexters may be breeds many times in their life history. They produces more and more number of the daughters with a small sized body. But mammals and birds breeds many times in their life history. But they may be produces very few number of the daughters with a big sized body. Next to environmental issues. Next one is the environmental pollution or the environmental issues. In environmental issues, what are the key points means? At first we have to know what are the sequence of academic years which are related to the environmental issues means academic years 1970 Chipko movement and Water Act 1981 or 80 Joint Forest Management, this is 1974. Again 1981 Air Act, 1985 Ganga Action Plan, 1986 Environmental Act, 1987 Montreal Protocol, Amendment of Air Act, 1997 Kyoto Protocol, 1997 Kyoto Protocol. These are the few academic years which are related to the environmental issues. 1974 Chipko Movement and Water Act, 1980 Joint Forest Management, 1981 Air Act, 1985 Ganga Action Plan, 1986 Environmental Act, 1987 Montreal Protocol and Amendment of Air Act, 1988 National Forest Policy of India, again 1997 Kyoto Protocol. Next to what are the devices which mostly used for prevention of various type of the polluted substances means one is the scrubbers. Scrubbers are principally useful for removal of SO2 pollution. For reducing the SO2 pollution, definitely scrubbers are useful here. Then what is the mechanism which is involved in the scrubber working means? Just assume this is the one box here. This is the one box. So definitely we have to allow lime spray means that is a calcium carbonate containing water. Again from here we have to allow the flow of the dirty water or polluted water. This is the polluted water. Whenever the polluted water which is with the sulfur dioxide, that is reacted with the calcium carbonate. Finally, calcium sulfate is gets formed here. That calcium sulfate is gets deposited at the bottom of the end of the device as the pellet. By that way, air which is gets released to the out, that is free from the S4. This is the fresh air which is gets exhausted to the out. Means in scrubber working, definitely at first we have to allow the flow of the polluted air which is with the sulfur dioxide. Later on to that we have to allow the lime water spray. Then definitely SO2 which is present in the polluted air is reacted with the calcium carbonate. Finally calcium sulfate gets formed here, that is deposited at the base of the device. Later, whatever the air which is releases to the out, that is free from the sulfur dioxide. Means scrubbers principally useful for removal of the SO2 to decrease the SO2 pollution. This is useful here. Second one is the catalytic converters. Definitely, catalytic converters mostly useful to prevent automobile pollution. Catalytic converters principally useful to convert the poisonous gases into non-poisonous gases. Again, unburning state of the hydrocarbon into the CO2 and the water. Definitely to convert the kind of the unburning state of the hydrocarbons into water and CO2 and water, and also to convert the poisonous gases into the non-poisonous gas. This catalytic converter is principally useful here. These are principally made up of the expensive and heavy metals such as the platinum, again rhodium, again palladium. Definitely, catalytic converters principally prepared by using the more expensive and heavy metals such as the platinum, rhodium, palladium. These are principally useful for getting the preparation of the catalytic converter. These heavy expensive metals mostly convert the poisonous gases into the non-poisonous, and also they may be allowed the conversion of the unburning state of the hydrocarbons into the water and the CO2. By that way, automobile pollution gets a little bit decreases here. Next, the third type of the devices which mostly useful for prevention of the pollution is the electrostatic precipitators. Definitely, electrostatic precipitators are mostly useful to prevent particulate matter related pollution. To prevent the particulate matter related pollution, this electrostatic precipitators principally useful here. How that kind of the devices may be working means, just assume this is the electrostatic precipitator. In electrostatic precipitator, these are the collecting plates which are with the positive charge. This is the collecting plate. These are the collecting plates. These are with the positive charge. These are the high voltage electrodes. Definitely just before the allowing the release of the particulate matter from the industry to out through the electrostatic precipitator, at first we have to create a corona by electric discharge. Means a group of the electron is said to be as a corona. This group of the electrons are with the negatively charged particle. Definitely after creating the corona, in electrostatic precipitator, where we have to allow release of the particulate matter related fuel to the kind of the tube to the out. While that kind of the particulate matter is very slow, it passes over the negatively charged electron. This negatively charged electron is attaches to particulate matter. Finally, particulate matter is converted to negatively charged. While that negatively charged particulate matter is passes over the positively charged connecting plate, definitely due to the electrical attraction between the negative and the positive charge, particulate matter is deposited over the collecting plate. So 99% of particulate matter can be prevented, can be collected from the thermal power plant. Means by using the electrostatic precipitators, we can remove 99.9% of the 99.9% of the particulate matter from the thermal power plants here. Again, next to incinerators, another type of the devices which may be useful to us are the incinerators to betterly dispose of hospital waste, to completely dispose of hospital waste. This kind of the incinerators are a lot useful to us here. Means to betterly completely allow for the burning, because hospital wastes are with the most dangerous pathogenic agents. So that only they have to be 100% carefully how to be disposed of. So that only to 100% dispose of that kind of the hospital waste. These incinerators are a lot useful to us here. In addition to them, definitely e-waste materials also dangerous to the human health. So that only to 100% dispose of that kind of the e-waste materials also, these incinerators are a lot useful to us here. Means incinerators are useful for the dispose of the hospital waste as well as the e-waste material. Incinerators are a lot useful here. Next one is the Ecosan toilets. Definitely for avoiding of water pollution by the domestic sewages, this kind of the Ecosan toilets are a lot useful here. These are also called as the dry composting toilets. Means in this case, we may not use the water for the flushing of defecated matter. If defecated matter is not added with water, if it is simply deposited in moistened soil, then automatically sewage formation gets prevented. By that there is no chance of the water pollution. Means in this particular case, definitely we avoid the adding of the water for the flushing of the defecated matter. We simply deposit the defecated matter in the moistened soil. After some time, this human feces gets easily decomposed, and that may not be leads to the formation of the sewage. By that way, there is no chance of the formation of the sewage. There is no chance of the water pollution by this here. Again, nowadays in our country, in Kerala, again in throughout the world, in Sri Lanka, this Ecosan toilets are came in force. They are in practice. They may be in using at present in India, in Kerala, in among the world countries, in Sri Lanka, this kind of the Ecosan toilets are in working here. Next one is the what are the various diseases which mostly caused by various type of the harmful substances. Means leukemia type of the cancer is principally by radioactive waste. By the radioactive waste material, this leukemia type of the cancer is caused here. Second, skin cancer by UVB radiation. By UVB radiation, skin cancer is principally caused here. Again, snow blindness is also by the UVB radiation. Again, cataract disease also by UVB radiation. So principally, leukemia type of the cancer is mainly due to the exposure to the radioactive waste material. Skin cancer, principally when the persons are exposed to the ultraviolet radiation, not only for the UVB radiation, whenever the persons are exposed to the UV radiation, definitely this UV rays always causes the aging in the skin of the person. By that way, finally, that may be leads to the skin cancer. Again, whenever the person exposes to the UVB radiation for a longer period, this eyeball shows the inflammation. That is said to be as the snow blindness. That is the snow blindness. Still, once a person is exposed to the UVB radiation for a longer period, lens of the person becomes very hot. That is said to be as the cataract disease here. Okay, next to what is the greenhouse effect? What are the greenhouse gases? And what is the greenhouse effect means? Naturally, in atmosphere, whenever the CO2, methane, chlorofluorocarbon, and nitrogen oxide maybe increases in concentration, they form a glass panel like layer in the atmosphere. That glass panel like layer may not allow escaping of the infrared rays from the surface of the earth to the space. By that way, surface of the earth temperature may be increases continuously. Means if in the atmosphere CO2, methane, chlorofluorocarbon levels are with a limit, then very easily from the surface of the earth from time to time, infrared rays which are heated rays may be releases into the environment very freely. By that way, surface of the temperature may not get increases. But unfortunately nowadays, during the recent years, either due to the urbanization or due to the rapid deforestation, CO2 level is rapidly increases in the atmosphere. By that way, CO2 along with the methane and chlorofluorocarbon formed a glass panel like layer in the atmosphere. By that way, from the surface of the earth, this infrared rays, that is the heated rays, will not be released into the space effectively. Instead of that, they may be reflected onto the surface of the earth from time to time. By that way, surface of the earth may be increases. So, if this kind of the surface of the earth temperature is increases rapidly, then that is said to be as the greenhouse effect or the global warming here. Then, what are the gases which are responsible for the greenhouse effect means? Principally CO2. What is the contribution of the CO2 in greenhouse effect means 60%. Again, methane 20%. Again, CFCs 14%. Again, N2O 6%. Means greenhouse gases principally, this four type of the greenhouse gases will be principally contribute various percentage of the greenhouse effect. Principally CO2 contributes 60%, CH4 methane 20%, CFCs 14%, N2O 6%. Again, it is believed that if in the case this greenhouse gases will not be gets increases, then what would be the earth surface temperature at present means that is minus 80 degrees centigrade, but unfortunately at present that is gets reaches to the 15 degrees centigrade. Means if this kind of the gases are kept under the normal condition, definitely earth surface temperature may be maintained as minus 80 degrees centigrade, but unfortunately nowadays that may be just 50 degrees centigrade. Again, to decrease this greenhouse effect, what is the conference which was held in 1997 means that is said to be as the Kyoto Protocol. Definitely in Kyoto of Japan in 1997 a international convention was held to severely discuss the effect of the greenhouse effect on the public. That is said to be as the Kyoto Protocol. That is said to be as the Kyoto Protocol. Again, in this protocol, they may be severely discussed to reduce this release of the greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and they may be prepared separate roadmaps to the developing and developing countries also to decrease the kind of the greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere. Next one is the ozone depletion. Another important concept in the environmental issues is the ozone depletion. Ozone depletion means ozone depletion nothing but thickness of the ozone, if it is decreases, then that is said to be as the ozone depletion here. Then what is the gas which is responsible for the kind of the ozone depletion means chlorofluorocarbons are principally principal reason for the kind of the decreased thickness of the ozone layer. Means whatever the refrigerators which may be used nowadays, from that kind of the refrigerators, definitely chlorofluorocarbons are at first releases. Again, the chlorofluorocarbons are reaches to the stratosphere. Again, in stratosphere from the chlorofluorocarbon, Cl minus is gets releases into the stratosphere. This Cl minus is acts as the catalyst for dissociation of the ozone into the oxygen molecule. Definitely 3O2s are gets dissociated into 3O2, means in the presence of the Cl minus, this ozone is gets dissociated into the molecular state of oxygen. Naturally, in absence of the Cl minus, in the presence of the UV rays, this 3O2 molecules are continuously forms into the ozone. Means in the presence of this UV radiation, molecular state of the oxygen gets converted into ozone. But in the case of the absence of Cl minus, very little amount of the ozone is gets dissociated into the molecular state of oxygen. Means in absence of Cl minus, there is the balance between the formation of the ozone and the dissociation of the ozone into molecular state of oxygen. But whenever the chlorofluorocarbons are reaches into the stratosphere, whenever from the chlorofluorocarbons Cl minus gets releases, that Cl minus is continuously acts as the catalyst for the dissociation of the ozone into molecular state of oxygen. By that way only this ozone thickness gets decreases, that leads to the penetration of the harmful UV radiation onto the surface of the earth, that maybe leads to the harmful effect of the people, means that principally causes the skin cancer here. The next one is the biomagnification. Biomagnification. What is the biomagnification means? Concentration of a chemical, if it is increases from trophical level to the trophical level, then we can say that is the biomagnification. Any type of the heavy metal, if its concentration is gets increases from trophical level to trophical level, then we can say that is the biomagnification. For example, in aquatic food chain, this is the phytoplankton. Again, they are eaten by the zooplanktons. They are eaten by the small fishes. They are eaten by the big fishes. They are eaten by the birds. For example, into this kind of the water body, if 0.003 ppb DDT, if it is gets entered, while that is reaches to the zooplankton, its concentration is increases to 0.04 ppm. While that is reaches to the small fishes, its concentration is raises to 0.5 ppm. While that is reaches to the big fishes, that its concentration is raises to 2 ppm. While that is reaches to the birds, that its concentration is raises to 25 ppm. Means definitely, if the DDT concentration is increases from the phytoplankton to the bird, then that is said to be as the biomagnification. What is the principal reason for that kind of the biomagnification means? while the kind of the DDTs passes through various trophical level that neither gets metabolized nor gets excreted. Due to that reason, concentration of this chemical substances increases from trophical level to trophical level. Means whenever the DDT reaches to the boards at 25 ppm level, that increased concentration of the DDT must be interfere in calcium metabolism in board. By the way, whatever the eggs which are laid by the board, they are with a very thin shell. That kind of the shells may be easily broken on or before completion of the embryonic development. By the way, immature state of the embryos are releases into the environment. They are not able to sustain. So that only board population size maybe gets decreases. Means what is the reason to decrease the board population size nowadays in the society? Means because of due to the DDT biomagnification only. This DDT, if it is entered into the water body, definitely it decreases in concentration from trophical level to trophical level. By that way, highest concentrated DDT is reaches into the board body. By that way, that interfere in calcium metabolism. By that way, calcium availability for the formation of the shelled eggs decreases. By that way, thin shelled eggs are made by the board. By that way, during the development or before completion of the development, shells are broken. By that way, immature state of the embryos are gets right here. This is the biomagnification. Another important concept in the environmental issues is nothing but BOD and COD values. BOD and COD, biological oxygen demand, chemical oxygen demand values, nothing but these are the indicators, specifically 5-10 minutes. BOD and CODs are the indicators for betterly explain or for betterly estimate the pollution load in the case of the given water body. These two devices are a lot useful to us here. So definitely BOD, biological oxygen demand, is directly proportional to pollution load in water body. Again, BOD is inversely proportional to dissolved oxygen. Means if in the case of the given water body, biodegradable substances if they are more in quantity, if in the given water body biodegradable substances are abundant, definitely this BOD value is greatly increases. Means originally what is the BOD means? How much amount of the oxygen is utilized by the decomposers for complete degradation of the biodegradable substance in given water body is said to be as the biologically oxygen demand. Means simply we can say how much amount of the oxygen is consumed by decomposers for completion of the decomposition of the polluted substance is said to be as the BOD. If in the case in the water body, abundant polluted substances present, definitely utilization of oxygen by the decomposers is also gets increases. So that only if the BOD value is gets if pollution load is gets increases, then automatically BOD value gets increases. Similarly, whenever the abundant oxygen is utilized by the decomposers, definitely dissolved oxygen content in the water body must be gets decreases. Means if BOD values increases, utilized rate of the oxygen by the decomposers, if it is increases for decomposition of the polluted substance, automatically that leads to the decreased dissolved oxygen content in the water body. So that only we can say BOD is always directly proportional to the pollution load. BOD is always inversely proportional to the dissolved oxygen. Again, definitely BOD is greater than COD in case of domestic sewages. Means domestic sewages are the biodegradable substances. They can easily get decomposed by the decomposers. So that only In the case of the domestic sewages, definitely biological oxygen demand value is greater than the COD, but COD is greater than BOD in the case of the industrial effluents. In the case of the industrial effluent, COD value is always greater than BOD because industrial effluents are non-biodegradable substances. They may not be easily decomposed by the decomposers. Means industrial effluent must be gets degraded by oxygenation reaction only. Definitely industrial effluent substances have to be gets degraded gradually by oxidation only, but not by the decomposition by the decomposers. So that only industrial effluents, in the case of the industrial effluent, COD value is greater than the BOD value here. In that way, BOD, COD is principally used to the principal devices for estimation of the pollution rate in the case of the given water body. Again, another important concept is what are the units which may be appears in our syllabus for the measuring of various units. Means one is the Dobson units for estimation of the intensity of sound. For estimation of the intensity of the sound, Dobson units are not useful here. Again, for decibels are units for estimation of the intensity of sound. Again, Dobson units for estimation of the thickness of ozone layer. Principally, for estimation of the intensity of the sound, this decibel sound is used here. For estimation of the thickness of the ozone, Dobson units are cannot be useful here. This is the environmental issue. Okay.